right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who also were well. Peace and salutation to those of the hopeful elect. All right, we just coming out here week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, man. All right, because the Lord, who the world ignorantly calls God, and his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, has an ought with America. All right, and not only America, you know, the wicked Edomites that are ruling over America and also over the whole world, man. You know, the Esau Edom, who biblically known as Esau Edom, you know, but they're what the world calls them is so-called white people or so-called Caucasians. All right, but they're biblically known as the Edomites. They're ruling the earth right now in wickedness. All right, and they set up America to be, you know, the epicenter of wickedness. So the Lord is going to bring Esau's rulership in the earth to an end, man.
I got a quick precept to back you up. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
So the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, all right? And who has power, you know, to set up somebody, you know, in a high stature, or to give somebody dominion, and who has power to make somebody poor? The Lord. You know, the Lord, he's in control of all things. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So the Lord gave the earth into the hand of the wicked. All right? You got it.
He says, if not, where and who is he?
You know, it says, he cover up the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So this is how you're able to identify who the wicked is. All right? Who was the one person or the one nation that committed iconoclasm or blasphemy? You know? The so-called white man. He destroyed all the ancient frescoes, all right, all the ancient artifacts, or the ancient paintings depicting that the Israelites are so-called dark-skinned people, man. He's the only one that did that, which it identifies him. It says, if not, where, who is he? It's Esau Edom.
I got a quick precept for you. This is Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Yep.
And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Yep. So Esau, he has rebuilt already.
Hey, brother, can I say something? Hey, what does that say on your shirt? Can you pronounce that?
Well, it's debating how it's pronounced.
Okay, pronounce it.
I would like to say Yahweh.
Okay.
Some might like to say Yahweh.
Okay.
But
Jewish? It would seem you would be Jewish if you got that written. So what name is that?
brother, this is the name of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Okay. What's his son's name?
His son's name?
Yeah, what's his son's name?
Well, it's a good
Did he get Job 30? Proverbs 30.
Yeah. What is his name and what is his son's
Proverbs
name?
30. Yeah.
Sure,
you already know. So what's his son? Can we read it? Let's get it. What is that? Verse 7.
First off,
verse 6. Hold on.
Shabbat Shalom.
Well, okay. So in the scriptures, you have the word Saturday in the scriptures. Is there the word Saturday, Friday, Sunday, Monday? Can you find Saturday, Sunday, Monday in the scriptures? How would you be able to identify? How would you be able to identify when the Sabbath comes in, according to the scriptures?
Friday, sunset.
Right, but is there Friday in the Bible? Just say nobody knew about Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay, say another nation took this place down and they changed the names. How will we identify? What if you're out in the wilderness? How would you identify?
Well, I understand. I see what you're saying.
But let's get that Proverbs 30.
I got it.
Okay, we'll read that, but we'll get back into the Shabbat Shalom because the new moon, right? The new moon, okay, that identifies when a month comes in. From the new moon, then that's a Sabbath. The new moon is a Sabbath, and then 7 days from there is another Sabbath. So how did the ancient Hebrews, how did they identify what day was what? Because they call it day 1, day 2, day 3 when you're reading the Torah, right? The first day, the second day, the third day, the fifth day. Okay, you read Genesis, it talks about God created heaven and earth, right? He did this on the first day, he did this on the second. You don't see Friday, you don't see this, you see the sixth day, and then the seventh day he said he rested the seventh day, right? So how would you identify? We know, we can go through it, but by the moon cycle, The moon. That's how you identify a day is by the moon. And then you identify time by the sun. Right? Read that.
Proverbs 30 and 4. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fist? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name?
What is his name and what is his son's name? So what's the name? What's the true name? For you to rock that shirt, you gotta have the true name. Right? And there's only one, you know there's only one name, right? Is it debatable? Is God's name debatable?
Well, he has multiple names.
Where does that say? Where does that say in the scripture? He has, what is that, Zechariah?
Well,
He has Zechariah, what is it, 3? Is it 3?
he does reveal himself in scripture.
Right, he has many titles, but he only has one name. But before you get Zechariah, but get, what is that, Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Right, get Genesis, the 3rd chapter, because he said he only had one name, and he gave that name to the children of Israel. So are you're from the tribe of Judah?
Good question. I don't know. But I do
You don't know, okay.
I don't know. But I do know I love this God.
Okay, that God, you love that God, okay. Now is that the ancient Hebrew or that the Syrian Hebrew?
Well, if you think about ancient Hebrew, it's probably not. It's probably pictograph would be ancient.
Okay, the Paleo.
Correct.
The Paleo, okay.
Yeah. Curious though, what you.
Well, you already know what it is. You know what's going on. These are the true children of Israel right here, okay? Because when you go into the Bible, it doesn't just speak about one tribe, the Jews. Okay, so when it's the Jewish people call themselves Jewish, then what they're really saying, in all actuality, is they come from the tribe of Judah.
Right.
Okay, that's one tribe. There's 11 more tribes, right? That's one tribe. Where are the other tribes at? That's where are the other tribes. But the scriptures tell us, and hold Ezekiel the 37th chapter. Read that out. Genesis the 3rd chapter. That's wait. Finish Proverbs. You still holding Proverbs? Let's finish Proverbs. Unless you have something else, we can drop that. Finish Proverbs.
Proverbs 30 and 4. Who have ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who have gathered the wind in his fist? Who have bound the waters in a garment? Who have established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell?
Yeah, what is his name and what is his son's name? Because if you have the father's name, you got to also have the son's name, right? So what's the son's name? Yeshua. Okay. All right, Yeshua. We pronounce it different. That's not. We would say that's not the true translation or the true pronunciation of the name. When you go into the ancient Hebrew of how you would pronounce that name. Right? No, you're close. And we'll say that you're close. Okay. What it really comes down to, when we're here, it really comes down to prophecy. So how are we going to be able to identify the names? How are we going to be able to identify who the children of Israel are? Okay, how are we going to identify what time frame we're in? Because the Lord, he spoke about an end time, right? He spoke about an end time. How will we identify these things? Well, we identify it by prophecy. What are the prophecies? Well, the prophecies are contained in the scriptures. So the prophecies state a certain people and what they will look like and what they will be suffering in the last days. Now, the so-called Jewish people, they don't fit those characteristics. And this is the reason why we have this sign here. Okay, the so-called American Negro, right? So-called. Why do we say so-called? Because that's not an actual nationality, right? It's a color. Okay, black, right? We're on the same page, right? The so-called West Indian, that's a direction, and then the word Indian means savage. Okay, the word Haitians, I forget exactly what the word Haitian means, but these are all bywords. Now the scriptures tell us in the script, Deuteronomy, that we'll be called bywords. Okay? The scriptures also say that we'll go into captivity. Now, you know, you're Jewish, right? You study the Torah, the Tanakh, right? Okay, you love the Hebrew Bible. What is the ongoing story of the Hebrew Bible?
That's a great question. Well, the way I understand the Hebrew Bible is that
as pertaining to the Israelites.
Well,
what kept happening to the Israelites?
I think it's important to note that the Hebrew scriptures are very complex. So, with that said, I think it's important to start with that before we talk about the Israelites, we have to understand what humanity's purpose is and how Israel fit into that purpose. So I would want to start with the original purpose of humanity, and then how Israel was God saying, I want to restart with the people to get back to plan A. So if I can elaborate a little more, you okay with that?
Oh no, you go. There's a lot of scriptures popping in my mind.
So
go ahead.
Yeah, can you respect our stand? Oh yeah, thank you, no problem. So Yahweh, everyone pronounce the precious name, the Tetragrammaton.
Okay.
He reveals himself as a radically generous God in the book of Genesis.
Radically
generous God.
Generous God.
Radically generous.
Okay.
He reveals himself as
How is
radically
that? How and how so? How so?
Yeah, so
Get Deuteronomy 7:6.
but check it out. He reveals himself like this. In the beginning, Elohim made the heavens and the Shemayim.
Okay, let's deal with that. Let's deal with Elohim. Wait, hold on. Because we gotta correct. We gotta be on the same page. Elohim. What does that word mean?
So that's a good question.
Get Genesis the first chapter.
But can I continue my train of thought?
Well, yeah. Before you get on that, because you say he, God, Elohim. That's plural, right? So did God create the? Genesis 1:1. Let's just go to that. But we can go into Hebrew too. Okay, we can go into Hebrew by Ashif. Okay, go ahead, read that. Because is this the correct translation when you go into the Hebrew? Go ahead.
Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Okay, God. It has a lowercase g, right? A lowercase g. Is that what you call Yahweh? Is that His name? Because He's not introduced until what, the 3rd chapter. So what is that saying? It says, and God. Okay, read it again. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Right
In the
there.
beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Okay, God created heaven and earth. What does that really mean?
Well, I think that as we continue to read the story, it unfolds what it means. So
Okay.
we have to continue reading.
Okay, is that true? Is that God though? Is that the creator? Did the creator do that? Is that the creator?
I would say yes.
No, that's the Elohim. You just said it, the Elohim, right? You just said that, right? It's plural. This really is saying that the powers, the angels, when you go into it, the angels create the heaven and the earth. Okay? God, He gave the angels the blueprint of how to create the heaven and the earth. Get Hebrews the 1st chapter real quick.
Got the definition real quick.
Go ahead.
This is the definition of Elohim. Plural. Rulers, judges, divine ones,
See?
angels,
Could be, Hebrews
gods.
or John.
Correct. And I do agree with that. But
So the gods created the heaven and the earth. You have that in John, right? Yeah, go ahead, get that.
St. John chapter 1 verse 1. In the beginning,
So now in the book of John, we're reverted all the way back to the book of Genesis. In the beginning.
Right.
Go ahead.
in the beginning the word was with, it says in the beginning was the word, and the
Word.
word
Go ahead.
and the word was with God,
And the word was with God.
and the word was God.
And the word was God. Go ahead.
The same was in the beginning with God.
Go ahead.
All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made.
Now, but does that really is that word God supposed to be there? What is that really supposed to be there?
you're asking.
The Elohim. The Elohim. I'll pronounce the word. The Elohim. So it's telling you right now, everything was created by the Elohim, or really going into it by who you call Yehoshua. Right? Is that how you pronounce it? Which we pronounce it, that name Yahushai. That's the real way how to pronounce it. Okay? Go ahead.
You want me to read it how it should?
Yeah, read how it should be.
It said, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with the powers,
Was with the powers. Go ahead.
and the word was a power.
And the word was a power. Go ahead.
The same was in the beginning with the powers.
With the power, it's plural. When you go into those texts, this is plural. Well, I'm making a point. I'm making the reason why I'm making a point because the way that the Bible was taught is taught incorrect. We have the proper breakdown of the Bible because we are the proper people of that book. Okay, that book is actually written about us. Okay, it's actually written about dark melanated creatures. And when I was asking you a question, what is the overlying story of the children of Israel? Was what? God came to them and gave them a law, right? He raised them up above all the people, and what? They kept breaking the law, and they kept going into captivities. They kept going into captivity, and then He'll raise up a savior or a judge. The whole book of Judges. Okay, Moses was a savior. Okay, you had different prophets. You had different Gideon that delivered the children of Israel out of the hands of their oppressors. So the overlying story of the Israelites are they kept going into captivity and they were being oppressed by the other nations. And then God would what? He would destroy that nation. that oppressed them, right? We're on the same page, the Egyptians, right? And then he will raise them up. But then it was a point to where the Most High or God got really angry with the children of Israel. He said, you know what? I'm going to take everything away. I'm going to take your name. I'm going to take everything. I'm going to take, what's that? Get Jeremiah 17. I'm going to take your heritage from you. So you're not going to even call yourself Israelite anymore. I'm done with you. Okay? Hosea, the first chapter.
It's a powerful book.
Hosea, the first chapter of the 10th verse. But finish that, John.
It
We'll get
says,
that.
St. John chapter 1 verse 2, the same was in the beginning with the powers. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was the life, in him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not.
Okay, that's good. But get Hebrews the first chapter. I believe it's Hebrews the first chapter.
He is the radiance and the glory.
Start at the top.
Hebrews chapter 1 verse 1. It said, God who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets.
So how did the children of Israel, how did they get the understanding from God? It was by a prophet. Where are there prophets set up in the land of Israel? Where are the prophets at? You got to have a prophet. There should be a prophet telling you what's going on, right? So there should be a Jewish prophet that's out there in the land of Israel telling you, okay, what the word of God is. This is how God speaks, so to speak, to the people, to the fathers. This is going to the fathers, the Israelites, by a prophet. Go ahead.
It says, have in these last days spoken unto us by his son.
By his son, whom we call Yahushua. Go ahead. By his son, go ahead.
Whom he have appointed heirs of all things, by whom also he made the worlds.
By whom he also made the worlds. So his son made the world. What is that speaking about? We're going back into the Alahayim. The Heavenly Father, he made a son, the first begotten son. He created a son, and then from his son, the son created everything you see here. Actually, the Heavenly Father, what he did, God did create everything, but he gave that to his son to do. And then his son, he created the first fruits, or you will call you know about the elect, right? And then those were the first angels that were created, and then from then, the whole earth was created. That's what we're going to Genesis, the first chapter. Okay. But let's go to what you have.
Oh, no, there's something else with it.
Okay, but yeah, go ahead, go to that.
This is Jeremiah 17:1. The sin of Judah is written.
17 and 4.
I'm starting at 4. And thou even thyself shalt
Go ahead, read it
discontinue.
again. Yep.
And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
Thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage. At what point? Go ahead, keep reading.
And I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not.
What did it happen to the Jewish people? Can you give me some time? Because we have to go by prophecy. We're not going by, okay, one man said this, another man said this, what I think in my heart. It's not about that. What does the Bible say? What is the Bible? And this is the prophets. Okay? You are going to serve your enemy. Now we have to pinpoint, okay, who does this pertain to?
Questions? Yeah, I won't ever try to make up an answer. That's all I know.
No, I'm just asking you a question. You have the name right there on your shirt. You look like you are well versed in the scriptures. That's okay. You love it, but you know what? Can you get Jeremiah 30 and 16? Do you really know what's going on in the Hebrew scriptures? Do you know what Edom is? Do you know what the Edomites are? You know about Jacob and Esau, right?
Descendants.
Yeah, the descendants, right? You know about them, right? Did God love Esau? You should know. You should already know.
I would say there's a prophet that would say Jacob I loved, Esau I hated.
Okay, Malachi. Okay.
Right. So I understand that.
So are we gonna refute that? So what's the breakdown?
That's a great question. Again, this is where I would say it is really important to think about the context of what's said. And I do believe that this God is perfect love. And so, with that said, I do understand.
What is love, though? When you say love, let's break that word down, man. What is love?
Let's say
when
love.
You say love is what?
Love is
patient. Okay, love is patient. Love is kind.
Doesn't envy.
Okay, doesn't envy.
Doesn't boast.
Okay.
It's not self-centered.
Does God hate?
Yes.
Okay, but you just say he's all love.
True, but love and hate don't.
Does he destroy? Does
Yes.
he kill? Does he say stumbling blocks?
Stumbling blocks, I can see that, but sometimes I feel like, if you allow me to continue my train of thought.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, I love the God of the Hebrew Bible, and I love the God of the entire Bible.
Okay.
And he is an amazingly beautiful, but complex
What does he look
person.
like?
That's a great question. So this is where,
Okay.
well, again, he's
What does he look like? It's in the book. It's in the book.
God, it says God is light.
he that believes upon me, as the scripture has said.
It's in the book.
Out of his heart.
That's not tiptoe around, the book. What does the book say?
That's what I'm
What did
trying
he
to
look
say.
like?
What I'm saying is, he reveals himself in many facets. When he revealed himself to Moses,
Okay.
when he came on Mount Sinai, he revealed himself as a consuming fire.
Okay.
Now, other times,
He has a gait. He has an appearance. You got something, brother? Go
Really
ahead.
quick, this 1 John chapter 5, verse 3.
We're going in love.
For this is the love of the Most High.
So this is the love of God. You said love is this, love is that, which that is true. But we got to get the context of what really love is talking about. Go ahead.
That we keep his commandments.
That's the love.
sure,
Okay.
I agree.
His commandments are not grievous.
So what are the
I agree.
Where are the commandments at?
And who was the commandments given to?
That's a great question. Well,
Psalm 147.
Get Romans 13:2. Get Romans 13:10.
so that you guys, I really do appreciate what I see here is an idea of Bereans from the Book of Acts. You want to search the scriptures. Yeah.
Right, right.
So with that said, yeah, I agree that the commandments, yeah, obeying Yahweh's.
No, that's
God's
okay.
name.
You can say that's okay.
Obeying
and then
Yahweh's commandments is-
John 14 and 15.
is wonderful. But I think it's also important to know we can have obedience without love. For example, that is important to know. Jonah did go to Nineveh, however, he did actually love. He did obey God's commands, but he didn't have the right heart.
That has nothing to do. Read that again, brother.
This is 1
Read that
John.
again. We're gonna get the understanding. You're tiptoeing around. You're speaking, but then you're speaking with a forked tongue because it's either one or another. Okay, let your yay be yay or your nay be nay. It's either one thing or it's another. God doesn't deal with gray areas. Okay, there is no gray. When you go into the law, there is no gray area. Okay, it's either one thing or another. You're saying, well, God loves this, but then this and that. Now we're gonna just deal what love is according to the Bible. All right, we got 3 scriptures. Go ahead. What love is? This is the love that this is the love that God gave to the Israelites. This is the love. Okay, which is gonna go into the law, That's the love. If you see your neighbor's ass in a ditch, help your neighbor. That's love. If you see your neighbor with a wife, you're not going to commit adultery on her against him, because that's love. Okay? That's love. Not, oh, I just want to give you a hug and you're kind and this and that. No, that's not what it's talking about. Go ahead.
For this, 1 John 5 and 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his
That
commandments.
we keep his commandments. Now, okay, are the commandments done away with?
That's a great question. I would say that Yeshua would say no.
Okay, so is there anything over him? You say Yeshua, we know him as Yahushua the Lord. If he said no, who can come against him and say, okay, it's done away with?
You're asking like who could come against?
Didn't God give everything to his son? He gave all judgment into his son, right? As it is written. Right? When you go in Matthew the 5th chapter, he said, I have not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. Right? So according to what you just said, the law is not done away with. Now, homosexuality, how does God feel about that?
It's an abomination.
It's an abomination. And what should happen to homosexuals? According to the Bible. According to the Torah.
Right. I think that's they're both stoned or something like that.
Okay, so they should be put to death. Do you agree with that?
Again,
Do you agree with God, the one that you said, the Hebrew God that you love him so much?
Yes.
And he said, it is just said, and you just said love. Read that again.
Yes.
1 John 5 and 3.
Read it again. Open shop.
For this is the love of God,
This is the love of God. Go ahead.
that we keep his commandments.
So do you agree with, should 2 homosexuals, according to the Bible, be put to death? According to the Bible.
No,
Good question.
I do not believe that.
Okay,
anyone should
that's
be
good.
put to
Okay,
death.
thank you for your opinion.
Well,
Thank
some
you.
didn't believe.
That's your belief.
Yeah.
According to the Bible, the Hebrew Bible, what do you believe?
So would
I
say-
want y'all to read it where it say that. That it's supposed to put them to death.
Yes. It's again, I think it's a little more complex.
Okay.
But don't get me wrong. I do thoroughly oppose homosexuality.
Okay.
In no way do I support it.
Okay, no, that's fine. I just wanted to, hey, you didn't give me an answer yet. Read Romans 13 and 10.
Yeah, this is Romans chapter 13, verse 10. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Go ahead.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
Love is the fulfilling of the law. Like I just said, if you see your neighbor's ass, okay, in a ditch, you're supposed to help your neighbor, right? If you see a stranger of your own nation, you're supposed to bring that man in. You're supposed to help him out. If you see him down, you see another man of your nation, you're supposed to bring him in your house. You're supposed to take care. You're supposed to nurture him up. That's love.
Yes.
You see his wife. You're not supposed to commit adultery. You're not supposed to steal from that man. That's what love, according to the Bible, is speaking about. Not okay. I just want to, I just give you a hug. Now, I said John 14 and 15. We're gonna go to what the Lord said.
That's right.
Okay. So didn't the Lord come in the name of his Father? So everything that his Father said, the Son said. It didn't change up, right? Go ahead. Who got it? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
If you love me, keep my commandments.
Right. Read it again.
If you love me, keep my commandments.
If you love me, keep my commandments. Now, are the laws, the commandments of the Bible, or is that being done in America?
Again, that's a very complex question. I don't know if I can give you definitely yes or no.
It's a yes or a no. Are the laws in the Bible? Okay, America says you can cut your beard. Is a man supposed to cut his beard?
That's a good question. I think, but this is what I'm trying to say. Is like
It's a yes or no. According to I'm not even saying by our own opinions. Let's not talk about our own opinion. According to the Bible.
right. I hear you say.
Now, are you gonna give me a different interpretation? Are you gonna say yes? Or are you gonna say no? What do we talk about here?
I think that the way I'm trying to explain things
Okay.
is that we do need to understand the original context and the original setting things are being done.
The original setting. Okay.
Correct. I think that, for example,
So the setting has changed.
I'll back up.
What made the setting change? I want to know. You say the original context is. Are we still in biblical times?
I'm not quite sure.
Can you get that scripture where God said, "I changed not with that"?
Malachi? Is it Malachi?
Malachi 3:6. Yeah, Malachi 3:6. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got quick precept.
Okay, quick precept. Get Malachi 3:6.
Romans 13 and 10, love worketh no ill to his neighbor, therefore love is the fulfilling of the law. This is in the New
Yep.
Testament.
Yep.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. I
Okay,
agree.
we
Absolutely.
just read the water. We just read that. It came out again.
Oh, okay, that's the spirit.
But go ahead and get Malachi 3:6.
I got it.
Because you're saying, okay, because I'm asking you about the law. You say you love the God, you love the Hebrew God, okay?
Absolutely.
You love him so much. But then when I ask you about his laws, you're tap dancing. You're not really giving me a definite answer. You're saying, well, the context, and then it's a good question, this and that.
But I do feel like to my respect, I do feel like I keep being cut off my topic.
Okay, because you know what, this is okay. If I ask you, okay, are you a man or are you a woman? Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. Are you a man or are you a woman? Okay, good. So you gave me an answer. Okay, you just gave me an answer. Now, according to the Bible, should two homosexuals be put to death? Yes or no? You see how you see?
I see.
I'm gonna let you go.
I do want.
let your yay be yay or nay be nay.
Don't the scripture say that?
According to the Bible,
go.
man.
Right.
Go ahead, read out.
Leviticus
Where's your Bible?
chapter 20, verse
It's at home.
13.
He already know the law. He literally knows the law. He studied the law. Get Psalms 50 and 16. This guy studied the law. He know about it. He got the name of the Lord on his name. Okay, he ain't got the right pronunciation, but he know that two homosexuals should be put to death. He know that you're supposed to have a beard on your face. He know that a woman is not supposed to commit adultery. But does he agree with that?
This is Psalms chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes?
Yeah, you're the wicked. You didn't know that? You're the Edomite. You are the Edomite. Because look, a wicked person will take God's law and say that he loves them, and then when you bring it out and say, okay, is this supposed to happen? Well, I don't know. It's a different context because you are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people will adhere to the law. Okay, but the reason why God's chosen people are in this state is because we didn't adhere to the law. You see that? This is the reason why we went into captivity. You read Deuteronomy 28th chapter, right? Does that appertain to the Jewish people out there? Number one, and when Israel was Isaiah the 2nd chapter, you already know, when Israel was supposed to go back into their land, There's supposed to be peace on earth. All weapons are supposed to be destroyed. So that will prove that those are not the true people. Okay? We are going to go back to the land once America, which is Babylon. You read about Babylon. America's Babylon. How do we know that? By the prophecies. What would Babylon embody? Everything you see in America. Transgenderism, homosexuality, okay?
That I agree with.
Lying, murdering, okay? Killing the innocents.
Is this a God-fearing land? Would you say that honestly?
Again, it's tough to say because here's the thing. I don't know if you can speak of an entire people group because there's such a diverse people here. I would say as a whole, you can't say this entire nation is a God-fearing land, but you can't say they're God-fearing people in here. Again, I think these questions are they're a little too tough to give a straight one-line answer.
You should know, the scriptures say you should know all things, man. So for a person that say that they know what they're talking about, you seem skeptical and unsure.
Well, I just think that I want to be careful how I answer questions.
That's fine. I understand what you're saying. Now, you're basically saying there's some good people. You have certain people that believe in God. You wouldn't say America's righteous, but I'm gonna hit you with something. Get Isaiah 13. This whole land gonna be destroyed, by the way.
Right.
America's totally gonna be destroyed, and the people that's here. There's only gonna be a remnant that truly believe in the Most High that are going to be delivered.
Just like the time of the flood, 8 souls saved. At the time in Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot, his two daughters made it. What happened to his wife?
Yep.
And that remnant only comes out of Israel.
Right.
Romans 13:11.
Right.
The Bible's not for everyone.
Isaiah
13 and 11, and I will punish the world for their evil.
And I will punish the world for their evil. Why do you think there's a lockdown? Why do you think there's what's this, a pandemic?
Yeah.
Why is there a plague going around?
Yep.
Okay.
Famine.
Why is there a famine in the loom?
Yep.
Why are people going crazy in the mind? Why do you see people with multicolored hair? Why do you see transgenders?
Why is uproars in the earth? Why are everybody
Uproars of the
protesting?
people?
Yeah.
Because the Most High, God is not here. You have a misconception of God.
Yeah.
God destroys.
Yeah.
He kills. You read it in 1 Samuel. Okay. In 1 Samuel said, I kill and make alive.
Deuteronomy 32.
Okay. He flooded the whole earth.
He going good.
You think he won't do it again? He's gonna do it again. He's gonna literally hit this place. Well, he's setting up the thermonuclear war, World War III. He's setting it up. He's gonna go ahead, read.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 11, and I will punish the world for their evil.
For their evil, because we're in an evil society.
We
There are
evil
no
done.
people. There are no people doing good. The only one that's doing good are you seeing us back here, and this is through grace.
Right.
We're good because of grace.
Right.
Not because of our work. We're actually doing good, but because the Lord He washed us by the word.
Yep.
Okay? We were in the world, we were doing wickedness, we were going against His law, and then He woke us up, and then now we're doing to our best ability to keep His law, and that's how we're good. And the book of Revelation said He found no guile. Okay? We were the elect were virgins. It's not physical because every man sins, but it's a spiritual because we actually try.